Following the events that happened over the past few days, the engines are now more traumatized than ever, including Thomas, Percy, and Gordon. Ever since they heard from Trevor, the traction engine over Farmer Cole's farm, that Diesel 10 was back on the island of Sodor, they were worried that the evil Diesel was planning to get revenge on Sodor itself and the engines, including Thomas, Percy, and Gordon themselves too. Over at Vickerstown, half of Henry's tunnel and one line heading towards the station was complete, but the area was still closed due to having a lot more to do. As nighttime came by, as all of the engines were snoozing sleepily as always every night, over by the diesel works, Diesel 10 was planning to burst out the diesel works to get his revenge on Sodor and the engines. Ah ha ha! Look out, Sodor, because I am back. Where am I? Well, you're in our secret hideout. Who said that? I did. 16. Is that you? But I thought you were sent away from Sodor several months ago for causing so much trouble at Naffer Yard. I was, he replied, but a few days ago, I was able to sneak onto the island of Sodor again, especially for me to join this very mission. Same with you. What mission? Asked Logan. Well, to get revenge and take over Sodor. That's what. That's right, 16. And we told him that me, Ari, and Bert would like to join the mission to take over the railway and get revenge on Sodor. I don't want to do that, said Logan reluctantly. I may be a diesel engine, but I'm actually quiet, said Bowler. The boss is coming. Everyone, stay still. Ah, diesel engines of the other railway, as well as, of course, 16, George, Lori 1, and forgot to mention Logan, of course, joining us as new recruits and members. Thank you all for coming here to this very important meeting of mine to take over the railway and get revenge on the engines. And before we start discussing about that, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for doing your part to get ready for this. The first thank you I want to give is to Paxton for trying to find new recruits to join us on this mission along with George, Lori 1, 16, and Logan. And you were able to locate Logan. And same goes for you, Bowler. The first thank you also goes to you for being able to find Logan and bring him here to join us on this mission. Paxton and Bowler smiled. The next one will go to Norman. Norman, the second thank you goes to you for being able to locate the magic buffers behind Vickerstown's sheds. Norman smiled happily. Thank you, boss, he said. And I was one who was able to find a way for Diesel 10 to get onto the island of Sodor without going through Vickerstown, so he wouldn't get caught or spotted in the process. That's right, Spamkin. So the next thank you goes to you, which is the third one after the second one for Norman. Now for the fourth thank you, we'll have to go to Splodge. Actually, it's a splatter. And Dodge. Well, I ain't got time to say both names. Good one, boss, chuckled Norman. Splodge. Thank you, Norman. Okay, where was I? Oh yes, ahem. Spamkin and Bowler, you two will take all the oil and fuel to the diesel works and guard it so no one will be able to take it. Yes, sir, replied the two diesels. Diesel, Airy, Bert, you two will be keeping an eye on Logan. And of course, for you, Logan, you'll be doing what the three diesels tell you to do and must obey always. Logan had no choice. Since he was on Diesel 10's side now, he must do what he was told to do to take over the railway and get revenge on the engines. For you to Paxton, Norman, your second role of this mission will be finding the blue puffball and Twinkle Toes. And for that, you two will pretend to be new engines that just arrived on the island of Sodor, and make sure you do not get caught or let anyone find out what you're up to, especially on anything too suspicious. Yes, sir, replied Norman. And you'll see what I mean by the blue puffball and Twinkle Toes, Paxton, because I know where they are, and I know where to look for them. And for you three, concluded Diesel 10, especially towards 16, Lori 1, and George, since you want to get more revenge on Sodor and the engines, I want you to think of the biggest revenge plan ever. Oh, that'll do, chuckled Lori 1. And that's what I'm talking about, agreed George. Make that we, smiled 16. And thank you, Diesel 10. This is ever what we wanted. But what about us, boss? Asked Splatter and Dodge. Oh, for you two will be staying with me, and you two will be obeying what I'm telling you to do, and you won't obey me this time like those years ago. The Diesels honk their horns very loudly, while 16 Blues whistle very loudly. Does anyone remember their roles? Asked Diesel 10 to everyone. The Diesels smiled, including 16, George, and Lori 1, except for Logan, of course. All right. I expect everything to be concluded by dawn. Pretty soon, Sodor will be nothing but a battered wasteland, full of piles of scrap and engines just like us. Ah, 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 ah. The next day, as Thomas was making his way out of the yard to collect Annie and Clarabelle, he stopped on a turntable at an Napper's chest to get spun around. In front of them was Paxton, the green diesel, loading up at the bear loader. "Who's that?" asked Thomas curiously to Edward. "That's Paxton," replied Edward. "He's a new diesel engine that just arrived here on Sodor." Even though we weren't expecting any new engines to arrive here on Sodor before and after Tom had left, added Neville. "And it's kind of crazy too," concluded Donald, "because every single diesel engine here on Sodor had vanished overnight a few days ago, and now Paxton is the only diesel engine here on Sodor." And by dawn, snickered Paxton quietly to himself, "there'll be nothing but engines like me, Diesel 10, and the rest of my friends. I wonder how the others are doing out there." Over the docks, Norman was secretly working as a dockside engine as Cranky was loading the last log into Henry's trucks, as Henry arrived to collect his train. "Good job, Norman," he would say. "I agree," concurred Cranky. "Same here," agreed Porter. "This time today, we do need one more engine to do the extra work, and you're the engine for it. And would you mind moving those freight cars out the siding over there?" Just then, Thomas puffed in. "Hello, Porter. Hello, Cranky. And hello to you too, Timothy. Same goes for you, Hey there. I don't think I met you before. Who are you?" "I am Norman, and you must be the blue puffball. Oops, I mean Thomas, right?" "Yes, that's right. How do you know, Norman?" "Lucky guess, I suppose. Anyways, I gotta go. It was very nice meeting you, Norman. Goodbye." "Phew," sighed Norman in relief and silence. "I almost gave everything away there." "So, what are we doing here?" asked George. "Well," replied 16, "this is Thomas's branch line, and our first part of our biggest revenge plan is destroying the curved viaduct by breaking one of the bridge supports here." "Let me take care of that," smiled Lori 1 as he roomed forward. Lori 1 stopped right behind one of the bridge supports of the curved viaduct, and with a backwards charge, Lori 1 popped the bridge support out of the viaduct and the track deck above began to weaken. Just then, 16 heard a whistle. Someone's coming! Let's get out of here! Wait for me! Shouted Lori 1. Whoa! Ooh! Hey, what happened? Where is the breakdown train? Asked Douglas. Rosie has got into an accident over Thomas's branch like the Gert Viaduct, but it's not here. I guess I'll need Rocky for this one. Actually, Douglas, said Wilbur as he stopped by, like the breakdown train, Rocky's also missing. So, I don't know where they have gone. Ah, so you brought in both Rocky and the breakdown train to us. Now that's more like it. Without either Rocky or the breakdown train, no engine out there is able to help out any other engine who crash, come off the rails, or get into any accidents. So that's why I decided to bring them both here, replied Diesel. Two of the only breakdown cranes here on Sodor. What? Where am I? Cried Rocky. And who are you guys? Huh? Who are we, you ask, replied Bowler. Who are we? Well, we are Sodor's greatest enemies. Mistreated by all of Sodor here, and now we're out for revenge. And don't worry, Rocky. You'll be safe here with me and Spam Can, and we'll definitely take good care of you. Or will we? Chuckled Spam Can. But Logan began to feel ashamed and guilty for being forced to do something that he would never ever wanted to do. So he must think of a way for him to get out of this. Meanwhile, over the back of Bickerstown sheds, 16, Lori 1, and George were discussing about what their next plan's gonna be for their revenge plan. Let's say we get Edward involved in the accident, George suggested. I mean, so Tom had placed him in charge after he left. Great idea, George, replied 16. But first, I need a couple of things. And I think those boxcars there will do the trick. Hello? Anyone here? Hello? I'm here for some help. Hello? Those boxcars shouldn't be over there. I must move them out of the way. Here he comes. Keep quiet, you two. Keep quiet. Wait for it. Wait for it. Ah! Now that's a good one, laughed George. Make that a slam dunk, chuckled Lori 1. To me, I would call that a slam dunk. I agree so too. Diesel 10. Well done, 16. With Edward out of the way, there is clearly no one here on Sodor to stop us. Because like 16 said, laughed Splatter, he took a slam dunk. Slam dunk, chuckled Dodge. Good one, Splatter. Good one there. But what about Thomas? Asked Lori 1. Oh, don't you worry about that, chuckled Diesel 10. Because Norman and Paxton are both over the airport waiting for him to come by. And once he does so, the both of them will bring him here to me. And sing with Twinkle Toes too? Asked Splatter. Yes, Splodge. Her as well. Over in Napper Yard, the engines have gathered around and were talking about what happened to Edward. Edward had a nasty accident over at Vickerstown, the rolling bridge, said Belle. And it's horrible. And along with that, added Bertie, Diesel 10 has invaded the island of Sodor. We need some engines to go out there and stop him. But who? Asked Flynn. Everyone was silent and uncertain. Until... Me, announced Thomas. The engines gasped. You? Cried Percy. You're going to stop Diesel 10? Yes, I am, Percy. But for this mission, I need 2 more engines. Percy and Gordon, you two will come with me. All right, said Gordon happily. This is going to be an adventure. It's going to be more like an action adventure, Gordon, Thomas corrected. Now come on, you two. Let's save Sodor. For Sodor! For Sodor! Everyone cheered as they watched Thomas, Percy, and Gordon roll out of the yard in bravery, planning to save Sodor from Diesel 10 and stop him. Good luck, called Harvey. And be safe, added Trevor. Over at the airport, Paxton and Norman were waiting patiently for Thomas to arrive so they can capture him. However, though, the 2 Diesel engines didn't feel like capturing Thomas. Hey, Paxton, asked Norman. Yes, replied Paxton. Being on Sodor kind of reminds me of something. What is it? Well, you see, I know someone who works and lives here. You do? Who? Dennis. Dennis? Never heard of him. Is he your friend or something? Actually, replied Norman, he's my brother. Paxton was shocked. Your brother? I didn't know you had a brother. Well, replied Norman, I don't talk about it very much. I usually keep this as a secret over on the mainland. I see, replied Paxton. Oh, Norman, what on earth are we doing? I don't want to do this anymore. Me neither, agreed Norman. Instead, I want to help Thomas save Sodor. As I arrived here, I find Sodor to be a very beautiful place to visit. Or should I say, plan to stay if I'm able to. You're right, Norman, agreed Paxton. We should help save the railway, not destroy it. Just then, Thomas, Percy, and Gordon chuffed in. Who are they? Asked Percy. Don't worry, whispered Thomas. Those 2 are Paxton and Norman. They're new engines who just arrived here on Sodor. They're very nice and friendly. What are you 2 doing here? We decided to help you, replied Norman. Help me? Asked Thomas. He was confused. Yes, to help you save the railway, replied Norman. So you 3 can go on. Thank you. And with that, Thomas, Percy, and Gordon continued their way through Vickerstown. The 3 engines rolled by the diesel works. Then they stopped. That's where Rocky and the breakdown train are, said Percy quietly. In there, inside the diesel works. I'll go get them while you 2 can go ahead and find Edward. Okay, Percy, replied Thomas quietly. Thomas and Gordon continued their way through Vickerstown trying to look for Edward. As they approached the sheds, Diesel was getting Logan ready to capture them, but Logan didn't want to capture Thomas and Gordon, so he thought of an idea for him to escape out of Diesel 10's side. As Thomas and Gordon were slowly approaching the sheds, Logan shot forward, but instead of capturing Thomas, he ended up capturing Gordon. Logan, cried Gordon, you're okay, and what are you doing here? Just come with me, replied Logan. It's not safe here for now. And with that, Gordon and Logan raced out of Vickerstown. Gordon, cried Thomas. And Logan? Don't worry, Thomas, they both called back. We'll be okay. All right then, said Thomas to himself. It's all up to me then to save the railway. I must keep going if I want to do so. And Thomas continued on his way, heading towards the back of Vickerstown sheds. However, though, he was so busy looking around that he wasn't watching where he was going. He was diverted onto a siding and accidentally bumped the buffers at the end of the track and suddenly vanished into thin air. And later on, he reappeared in the Magic Railroad. I can't believe I'm here after all these years. And I also can't believe that I'm actually seeing you after all these years, came a voice. Lady, cried Thomas, you're here as always. And behind Lady, as well as next to her, were all the Sodor diesel engines that have gone missing, along with Billy. Thomas, called Billy, is that you? Indeed it is, replied Thomas. I can't believe all of you are here, and I'm so glad you're safe. I know, replied Derek. During the night, Diesel, Airy, Bird, and 16 grabbed us while we were sleeping and left us here, along with taking away our oil. For me, added Billy, I was on my way towards Vickerstown Station when all of a sudden, I was diverted towards the back of Vickerstown sheds, and then on to a siding. And then I bumped some buffers and eventually ended up here. So, are you going to rescue us? Well, replied Thomas, since I'm here right now, yes, I'm here to rescue all of you. But Billy first. The Diesels were surprised as Billy rolled forward toward Thomas's. Woohoo! Sodor, here I come. What about us, Thomas? Asked Den. What he means is, insisted Dart, are you going to leave us behind? No, replied Thomas. Don't worry, Den and Dart. I'll come back for you with fuel and oil for you to get refueled. Then you'll be able to go back to the island of Sodor. But right now, there are other things I gotta do. Ready, Billy? Indeed I am. Sodor, here we come. And with that, the three engines vanished together at the end of the track, and later on, reappeared back on the island of Sodor. We're back, said Billy happily. Hooray! Shh, said Thomas quietly. It's not safe yet. Look. Nearby, Splatter and Dodge were snoozing sleepily over a great Warrington. Don't worry, whispered Thomas. I'll put you somewhere safe until it's safe to come out. Meanwhile, Percy was able to get Rocky and the breakdown train out of the diesel works without waking up Bowler and Spam Can. As the two diesel engines were still snoozing, and they even noticed that Rocky and the breakdown train have gone. Well done, Percy, said Rocky quietly. You didn't make a single noise. I know, replied Percy. Just happy to help and did my best. Thomas shoved slowly forward towards Vickerstown Station and could not believe what he was seeing. In front of him, over the rolling bridge, was Edward. Edward, cried Thomas, are you okay? Well, of an instant, the blue puffball. Diesel 10, cried Thomas. I gotta get out of here. And Thomas raced away as fast as he could. Come back here, shouted Diesel 10 as he forged ahead. Thomas raced away as fast as he could and passed Great Warrington where Splatter and Dodge are, and eventually wake them up. Splodge, come and destroy! Splatter and Dodge could see what was going on, and they immediately raced away to help out Diesel 10 on capturing Thomas. Paxton and Norman were still over the airport until they heard Thomas's whistle as he zoomed past. Then they saw Diesel 10 swiftly approaching. Norman, stop him, shouted Percy. Norman heard Percy and he immediately rolled forward, blocking Diesel 10's way. But unfortunately, the evil Diesel was able to ram him right off the rails. Do you think that'll stop me? He chuckled. Ha ha ha. Well, that didn't work, sighed Norman. Don't worry, replied Paxton. I'll stop him then. Good luck, called Norman. I hope Tom's will be okay. Me too, Percy. Me too. When I find that blue puffball, I'm gonna destroy him piece by piece. Phew, that was close, sighed Thomas in relief. You can say that again, agreed Paxton as he rolled up. Paxton, said Thomas, you're here. Of course I am, replied Paxton. I'm here to help you save the railway. Help! Did you hear that? Yes, I did. Someone's shouting for help. That means they need help. And I think it's coming from Napper Yard, added Thomas. Let's go there. Engines, let me in, so I can turn you into a pile of scrap tin. Starting with you, little traction engine. Oh no, cried Fergus. He's gonna scrap me. Someone help! Hey, Diesel 10, looking for me? Ah, there you are again. Get back here. Run, Thomas, shouted Gordon, and Thomas and Paxton raced away as fast as they could from Diesel 10. That was a close call, said Paxton. Thank God we came in just in time to save everyone. Yes, agreed Thomas, but now we gotta save ourselves. Thomas and Paxton were diverted onto Edward's branch line again and arrived at the docks, where Splatter and Dodge were on a siding nearby. As he saw Thomas and Paxton zooming by, they began to chase after them. But this time, Thomas and Paxton have nowhere to escape. What should we do now? Asked Paxton frantically. Come with me, said Lady. Lady? Come with me if you want to escape. Now! And Thomas and Paxton did so. They buffed up to where Lady is, and with that, the three engines disappeared in the magic gold dust. Just in time as Splatter and Dodge came in. Hey, where'd they go? Asked Splatter. The boss ain't gonna be happy about this, said Dodge. Let's just hope the others will find them and capture them. We'll see for sure. Phew, that was a close call back there. Thanks, Lady. No problem, replied Lady. I'm just glad I was able to help. Diesel 10! That's right. I found you again. Run! I hope Thomas is okay, Pete Percy. Did you hear that? Asked Rocky. That's Thomas's whistle. That means he's okay. And Rocky was right, as Thomas raced out of the airport along with Paxton and Lady, with Diesel 10 falling from behind. Don't let him get to you, Thomas, shouted Percy. Uh-oh, cried Thomas. I'm running out of water. And I'm running out of oil, added Paxton. Then, when they went over the T-switch over at Vickerstown Sheds, they immediately came to a stop. Thomas and Paxton had run out of water and fuel. Lady tried to push them forward, but she couldn't. The two of them were just too heavy for her. Now I really got you now. Well, I guess this is it then, sighed Thomas. But at least, added Paxton, we'll go out together. It was really nice meeting you, Thomas. Same for you, Lady. Well, this is going to be fun to watch, chuckled 16. Indeed is, agreed Diesel. I can't wait for the best part. I can't look, said Percy anxiously as he closed his eyes. What? Log cars? Go! Sinners and ashes, cried Thomas as he opened his eyes. What just happened? We heard you can use some help, so we came in just in time to do so. That's right. Bash, Dash, Ferdinand, and Bear, cried Thomas. You saved us. No, shouted Diesel 10. Foiled again. And you sure are, came a stern voice. Diesel 10 gasped. It was a top hat. Diesel 10, what do you think you are doing? Well, I can explain. You see, you, Diesel 10, have been told not to enter my railway all those years ago after all the trouble you have caused. But you decided to disobey me and decided to do so, and yet you have caused more confusion and delay than ever, along with more trouble. Is there anything you gotta say for yourself? Diesel 10 whimpered. That's what I thought. After all this is cleaned up, there will be a serious talk about this, as well as, of course, consequences for your actions. That afternoon, Tom had called all the diesel engines, including 16, George, and Lori 1, to the Diesel Wars hangout area for a very important meeting, with Bear and the Logging Locos off the side, watching and listening. I am not pleased with you at all, he would say. For all the trouble you caused, especially confusion and delay, to my railway and my engines. That kind of behavior isn't tolerated here on my island. But for you two, he said to Paxton and Norman, since you decided to help Thomas save the railway from Diesel 10, even though you're with him in the first place to take over the railway, I'll be giving you trials, along with a second chance to see if you're really useful engines or not. If so, you're welcome to stay if you want. Paxton and Norman smiled. Thank you, sir, they both said. And for you three, 16, George and Lori 1, Tom had continued, you'll be helping out cleaning up all the damage you've caused over on Thomas's branch line, especially helping out Edward over at the Vickerstown Rolling Bridge. Yes, sir, replied George and Lori 1. We'll do that, sir, agreed 16. For the rest of you, especially Diesel 10, I'm going to be sending you all away back to the mainland where you belong, and make sure you stay there. All of you except Diesel, Ari, and Bert. For you three, you'll be helping out rebuild Henry's Tunnel and the lines heading towards Vickerstown Station until everything is finished. And I'll also be giving you one last chance for you to be good engines. Yes, sir, replied Diesel, Ari, and Bert. This isn't over, shouted Diesel 10. It's all thanks to those two traitors, Paxton and Norman, leaving my side to help the blue puffball. Paxton and Norman didn't really care and ignored Diesel 10. Same with Top and Hat, who rolled forward to where Bear is. Bear, I am deeply sorry for the way I treated you, along with the way I acted towards you as well, thinking and believing that you were the one who took Logan away. I should have known that you would never ever do something like that. It's alright, sir. On the other hand, though, at least I'm welcome back to come back to the island of Sodor anytime I want, right? Of course you are, Bear. Of course you are. Then Tom had to turn over to the Locking Locos. For you three, since you helped Bear save Thomas from Diesel 10, I'll be giving you 3 trials as well, just like Paxton and Norman. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. That's right. Tom had smiled at the 4 engines. Over the Steamworks, Victor and Kevin told Edward and Rosie, who were being repaired after the crashes, that Sodor was saved, along with Diesel 10 being stopped. This made both of them very happy that their home was saved. A few months later, everything was all back to normal, but the engines hustling, bustling, doing their work and being punctual, both steamy and diesel. Along with Henry's Tunnel and Alliance heading towards Vickerstown Station already rebuilt, same with the curved viaduct over on Thomas's branch line, as Tom's tank engine went over it on his way towards Maple Station. As he stopped by the station, he opened his mouth and spoke. For all what I've gone through, he would say, the adventurous adventure I had all those months ago will be a forever memory to me that I'll never, ever forget. And it sure is good to be a hero once again, stopping an old foe who's trying to take over our home. And Thomas puffed away after the guards whistle blew, feeling very happy to still be the number 1 engine.
He's a really useful engine, you know. All the other engines, they'll tell you so. He huffs and puffs and whistles, rushing to and fro. He's the really useful engine we adore. He's a really useful engine, you know. 'Cause the Fat Controller, he told him so. Now he's got a branch line to call his very own. He's the really useful engine we adore. He's the one, he's the number 1. Tom is the tank engine. He's the really useful engine we adore.
He'll be arriving anytime soon. Who, sir? A new engine. Oh, goody. Another new arrival? I can't wait. Well, you're in luck, because here he comes now. So, who is he? Ah, you're here, my new arrival.